Alisson, Quiveen Kelleher is in goal. Alisson is on the bench. And then Conor Bradley starting at right back, the Northern Ireland international. Konate, Van Dijk and Gomez, McAllister, Gravenberch and Jones, Elliott, Jota and Diaz, as David Coote blows the whistle and Fulham get this semi-final underway and immediately fire it forward towards the Kop, where Liverpool, Conor Bradley gets an early touch downfield. Luis Diaz gets a foot in the centre circle, but Tosin Adarabioyo is able to clear it away downfield. So the Fulham team, Leno in goal, Castagna, Adarabioyo, Diop and Robinson, Palhinha and Reid, De Cordova-Reid, Pereira, Willian, and the man with 4 goals in his last 4 appearances, the centre forward, the number 7, the Mexican Raul Jimenez up front. So Fulham with a throw on the halfway line, and Willian, League Cup winner in his time at Chelsea, just volleys the ball back so goalkeeper Leno can get a touch on it. It comes out to Adarabioyo, had to be sharp there. He was being put under pressure by Diaz, and then Castagna wins a throw in deep inside his own territory. Very, very familiar feeling for Liverpool and their supporters to be involved in yet another semi-final. Under Jurgen Klopp alone, this is their 10th Cup semi-final. And of the previous 7, they've won... of the previous 8, they've won 7 of them. So he's only been on the losing side in a semi-final once, Jurgen Klopp, as the Liverpool manager. And that was in this competition against Southampton, actually. Throwing to Liverpool inside their own half. And Gomez continuing at left back. So he's decided to keep Gomez there, but he's done well, hasn't he? He's had a real resurgence, Gomez.
He has. He's looking comfortable. He really is on the ball, getting himself a couple of games as well. I think the big picture tonight is for Fulham not to be take too long on the ball at the back. And Adarabioyo there and Diop have got to be careful not to be caught on the ball, because they will get closed down.
So that is Dion Dublin, Premier League winner, Golden Boot winner, England international, with us up here high in the main stand at Anfield, looking down on Liverpool, who with Gravenberch has just knocked the ball out of play for a throw-in to Fulham halfway inside their own half. So they're playing from left to right as we look. Castagna taking the throw back to goalkeeper Leno, who lifts it into the centre circle, and then Jimenez in. Well, that was a sturdy shoulder-to-shoulder challenge with Konate. Comes back into central defence for Fulham. Diop heads it to the halfway line. Pereira's beaten in the air, and then Harrison Reid in instead of Kearney. Reid, the captain, plays it. Had to be quick there, Adarabioyo, but he was. And then it comes back into the Liverpool defence, and there's a touch for Kelleher, who has started all of the matches on this cup run for Liverpool. They've beaten Leicester, Bournemouth, as well as West Ham on their way to the last 4. Pereira turns on the halfway line, but Konate was quick to it, and then Bradley stretches for it, the number 84 on the right-hand side. And then Elliott, who'll be playing in the advanced position on the right-hand side, takes over to give the ball back to the fair-haired goalkeeper Kelleher. And now Van Dijk playing it from left to right. And Bradley back out towards the right flank. Elliott receives it from him. Elliott, low ball in field towards Jones. And now Konate giving the ball to Van Dijk to his left. Liverpool happy to have possession in centre field. And Konate then to Bradley again. He's seeing plenty of the ball on what is only his second senior start for Liverpool. Conor Bradley, ball slipped forward by Elliott, bounces back though into the left back position where Robinson will turn it forward, and with it, in fact it didn't, it went straight out to play for a throw-in to Liverpool.
Yeah, they've been patient, Liverpool. I think Fulham are working so hard at the moment just to make sure there's no gaps in the middle of the park and no triangles can be formed for Liverpool, allowing Liverpool the flanks, but really sort of being tightly packed in that middle of the park.
Liverpool begin to attack down the left-hand side. Gomez with a flick into the path of Jones. Now Luis Diaz, black gloves on, short sleeves. The Colombian rolls it all the way back to Van Dijk. Now Konate again out to the right-hand side. And in comes Elliott, left-footed ball high towards the edge of the box, but at head height, headed down and away by Tosin Adarabioyo. Liverpool dominating possession in the early stages. Second leg at Craven Cottage in a fortnight's time. There is the potential of extra time at the end of the second leg. No away goals rule, Dion, we should say, for anyone who's in any doubt about that. And as you probably know, But in case you don't, there is no VAR in the semi-finals, because they say they weren't able to use it in the first leg at Middlesbrough, therefore not using it for any of the 4 matches. Given away by McAllister, groans from the home stands. Now Pereira through the middle, the former Manchester United man. Jimenez trying to find a way through, but runs into congestion, and Liverpool are able to see it back to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, Pereira there just trying to find Jimenez straight through the middle, but top of the pitch there, Willian, he really sprinted as hard as he could to give Pereira an option. Chose the wrong one on that occasion. They've got to get the ball wide for them, they really have.
Liverpool 0, Fulham 0. This is 5 Live, BBC 5 Live. Tosin Aravayo loses it. Jones now, 25 yards out, right foot shot, but Leno goes down to his right and holds it. Catches it into his chest. Shot too close to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Diop was trying to do there. It's a ball that just literally went straight to Gravenberch. Gravenberch, I think it was, to Jones, and then Jones travels and travels. Elliott on the right-hand side goes right past Jones's right shoulder. I'm thinking just pop him in there, roll him in, but he decides to shoot from the edge of the box, corner of the D. Doesn't trouble the keeper, but giving the ball away there is a nightmare for Fulham.
Yep, they've got away with that one. So that is the first save that either goalkeeper has had to make. And now Leno again, clearing left-footed towards the halfway line. Konate gets up, heads that away, then forward from Diop. Konate with a touch on that, but he's presented it to Pereira, who will carry the ball from left to right. And now he has Castagna, who got forward at every opportunity when I watched him last, the game against Arsenal. That excellent win for Marco Silva's side over Christmas and the New Year. Castagna again, way down in front of Jurgen Klopp. Castagna is forced to go back into his own half and actually passes it all the way back to Leno, who has to scamper out into his right back area. Elliott arriving, but Leno is able to clear high over the centre circle. It bounces now for Gravenberch, who gets that down, and the Dutchman plays it back towards the edge of the penalty area. So both managers have made 5 changes from the weekend. Probably more significant for Liverpool, since that they played on Sunday and Fulham played on Friday night, so a little more preparation time for Marco Silva and Fulham. And Liverpool, of course, without Trent Alexander-Arnold, the latest on the injured list with that knee problem that he's picked up. It is with Jones on the left-hand side. And then Gomez goes across the back line to Konate. Bounced up, might have struck him on the arm. Play continues through the middle. Here is Gravenberch just outside the penalty area. Now Jones in the box on the left-hand side. Castagna closes him down. Back to Gravenberch. Now centrally, McAllister thought about having a go. He did score in this in the league meeting here before Christmas. Elliott lifting the ball into the penalty area across from Bradley, but Leno's able to get down and get a hand to it, and it's stuck. So the goalkeeper has it. Yeah, brilliant work from Bradley there. I mean, it just popped into Elliott's feet, corner of the box on the right-hand side. Bradley decides to go in behind his marker, leaves him, and Elliott just pops him in. Bradley puts a nice ball across, but too close to the keeper. He's willing to go beyond Elliott. That could be dangerous tonight on the right-hand side. Liverpool 0, Fulham 0. 5 Live, BBC 5 Live. You can find 5 Live on BBC Sounds as well. All of the live BBC radio is there. Here's Robinson on the left-hand side. He's been mentioned as a possible target for Liverpool, the American international left back. Now Willian, the unmistakable Willian, little quick feet, moving from left to right, then passes it to Castagna, who goes for a long ball down the line to D. Cordova-Reid, who scored in the last couple of matches but can't keep the ball in play here, so it's a throw into Liverpool deep inside their own half. Yes, that match before Christmas, early in December, Dion, the 4-3 here, there were some cracking goals in that game, and if you remember, Fulham were actually winning it in the 87th minute and ended up losing 4-3, with Alexander-Arnold actually scoring the 4th Liverpool goal. Diaz turns it down the left. Here's Jota into the area. Jota pulls it back. Now Robinson had to get there, but he did for Fulham. Otherwise, there were 3 Liverpool men on the edge of the area, and he just managed to intercept it before it reached Elliott. Yeah, because it was just Diop and Robinson. Robinson was on the right-hand side in that sort of left-back position. Decided to leave the 2 incoming red shirts and try to intercept the pass. He did it, and he literally just nullified that chance from Liverpool. Lots of red shirts flowing forward though. Free kick conceded by Pereira, so a free kick to Liverpool just forward and left of the centre circle. So Liverpool sending up Van Dijk. Wasn't able to play at Arsenal on Sunday because he was unwell, but back in for this, back alongside Konate, who is excellent, with Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa's only on the substitutes bench today. Feel a little hard done to after playing as well as he did, but only on the bench for the semi-final. So free kick, Elliott and McAllister together. Fulham holding a line on the edge of the D, so it's quite a high line from where this is going to be delivered in by either, I think it might be Elliott. It is Elliott who curls it in, left-footed to the edge of the box, but the referee has spotted an infringement in there, and it's a free kick to Fulham on their edge of their own box. So 10 minutes played, Dion?
Yeah.
Mainly Liverpool?
Yeah, it is mainly Liverpool, to be expected. Fulham just fallen into it's like a 4-4-1-1 with Pereira and Jimenez kind of swapping that number 9 position. Then they might go into a 5 as well if they see that Liverpool are comfortable. So just changing their formation to where the ball is on the pitch, but at the moment they've got away with some sloppy play at the back.
Fulham take the free kick, fire it downfield straight out of play, and it's a throw-in to Liverpool. Fulham have had a couple of notable wins here in recent times. Won 2 of their last 7 visits, both 1-0 wins, but they have the experience of doing that. Established Premier League side now after coming up 2 years ago under Marco Silva. Famously, of course, there was the 10-0 in the League Cup here at Anfield many years ago, back in 1986. Liverpool's record domestic win. Fulham were down in the 3rd tier at the time. 2 very good friends of mine from university. One was a Liverpool fan, one was a Fulham fan. They came to that game together. Very disappointing day for the Fulham fan. Here's Jones, left side of the penalty area. Jones plays it to Gomez. Gomez gets his head down, but then couldn't find the cross. It drifts away over the top of the crossbar on his left foot, I suppose. Not his strongest foot, and it's behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, difficult. Just tried to go on the outside of his opposite number. Didn't quite get it right on that occasion, Gomez, but lovely positive play from Jota again down the left-hand side, just making the pitch big, spreading that Fulham defence so there's gaps in between it as well. Very clever stuff.
Leno taking his time to take the goal kick, so there are 1 or 2 whistles, then he slips over, hence the cheers, as he takes the goal kick downfield over the top of Jimenez and out of play for a throw-in to Liverpool. Seen very little so far of Fulham as an attacking force, but there is time for that over the course of the 120 minutes. Liverpool going back to goalkeeper Kelleher, who one would assume would play in the second leg as well. And indeed, if Liverpool go all the way, play in the final like he did last time Liverpool won this competition a couple of years ago, when that epic penalty shootout was won by Liverpool and both of the goalkeepers ended up taking penalties. Kelleher buried his. Here's Gomez on the left-hand side. Gomez back to the halfway line to Jones, and then Jones is able to turn and give it to Gomez again infield. Here's Elliott. Elliott, arms pumping. Back to Gomez on the left-hand side, but he wants it back on his right foot again, so then it comes back to Elliott and is all the way back now with Jones closer to the halfway line. Van Dijk. Now to Konate. Liverpool going to change it over to the right-hand side, which they do. Here is Bradley. And Bradley, little ball in towards Gravenberch. Gravenberch then back towards the halfway line. Liverpool in possession. Fulham happy just to sit off them in the early stages of this semi-final. Lots of the Fulham fans in the lower section of the Anfield Road end to our left, which is still not completely full yet, so the attendance, I would have thought, will be something like 55, 56,000, something like that, as Elliott drops deeper now to take possession again for Liverpool. There's not too much movement in front of him, so Diaz has come and take the ball off him and gives it to Konate, now out to the right-hand side, and then forward towards Jota, who's made a run out towards the far side, but Fulham have got 2 men on him, and it comes back towards the edge of the penalty area where Palhinha is able to take it and play it away to the halfway line, and then Jimenez's header back to Reed, very nearly put him in trouble, but Fulham have worked it out to the right-hand side to Castagna. Decoed over Reed, is halfway inside his own half, and he is tugged over. Groans from the home supporters, but free kick to Fulham halfway inside their own half. Yeah,
the difference is everything that Fulham are trying to do is completely rushed, trying to get the ball upfield as quick as they can, get it away from their own goal. And Liverpool at the moment are now getting into the final third with not much pressure from Fulham at all, so pretty comfortable.
Reed swings a crossfield path all the way to Willian, overlap from Robinson, but Bradley is able to move across, take the ball away, prevent it from reaching Robinson, and with Robinson out of position, Liverpool are looking to get it forward, but not quickly enough. Elliott and Gravenberch, and now McAllister, and Fulham have been able to get back into position. But warm applause, the kind of warm applause that you get when you're a youngster who's just come into the team for the way that he snuffed out that latest Fulham attack. And here he is again on the right-hand side. Conor Bradley, number 84 on his back. They've also got the number 98 on the substitutes bench, Trey and Yonyi. And it can't get much bigger than that. Van Dijk out to the right-hand side. Bradley takes the ball down. Again, there's applause from, great encouragement. And then from Elliott back to Gravenberg. Bradley's continued his run in field, but Diop comes in with a challenge. And then the excellent little contest between McAllister and Palhinha. McAllister comes out with it. Jota now in the box on the right, shoots right across the 6-yard box. And Diaz couldn't get in there. Maybe 2 strides further on, Diaz would have had a tap in from a yard out. But excellent work from McAllister on Palhinha.
Yeah, brilliant. Just found himself on his heels there in the far post, Diaz. If he was a couple of yards further forward, it's a tap-in from 2 yards.
Fulham in danger of losing it in their own right-back position, and Deco Overeed actually has to slide in on Jones to put it out of play for a throw-in for Liverpool on the left-hand side. But Palhinha will have made a note of that, losing out in that challenge centre field to McAllister. That won't have been part of his plan tonight.
Absolutely not physically anyway. It wasn't down to him, it was down to the physical presence, and he likes to make sure that he's the man doing that to his opponent, and he'll remember that one. Yeah,
so no Szoboszlai again in the Liverpool midfield. So McAllister is the man in the middle, Gravenberch to the right, and Curtis Jones to the left. And here is the Argentine World Cup winner, playing the ball to his left to Van Dijk. First time touch from Gomez for Diaz, Luis Diaz, who scored the clinching second goal at the Emirates on Sunday night. Ball in from Gomez towards the edge of the penalty area to Jones, who took a touch, but as he did so, Fulham were able to clear it. Now Konate again. Liverpool 0, Fulham 0 is the score, with just over 15 minutes of this semi-final played. And Diaz out on the left wing. Deco Overeed comes across. Bounces back to the Colombian, who under pressure from Deco Overeed has to go back to Gomez. Patient stuff again from Liverpool. Van Dijk got underneath that and sent it too high out towards Bradley, over the top of his head, and out of play for a throw-in to Fulham, who are really just sitting in there.
Yeah, they are sitting in there and kind of holding on at the moment. Van Dijk just trying to change the point of attack to that right-hand side, but a bit heavy that time to Bradley, whose heels were right on that line, very high up the pitch as well. Bradley's finding himself, which is good, very positive.
Liverpool with McAllister, and then Liverpool go back towards the halfway line. Matches in the EFL trophy tonight. Blackpool winning 1-0 against Burton. It's Accrington 1, Bolton 2, and incidentally Chesterfield, who were involved in the FA Cup at the weekend, playing in the National League tonight, winning 1-0 against Gateshead. 0-0 here in the first leg of this Carabao Cup semi-final against Liverpool, the record winners, against Fulham. And Reed does well, nice change of feet from him inside his own half, then over the halfway line, gives it to Pereira. Pereira breaking forward on his right foot, works it across the box, but didn't get anything on that in terms of the connection that he wanted, and he apologises. He was looking for this sort of clever pass to Jimenez, but mishit it straight into the path of Konate.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what I think he was in two minds. He was sprinting towards the edge of Liverpool's box, just to the right hand side, and he was in two minds whether to shoot or try and find Jimenez at the far post, who was marked by Konate anyway, so he should have went for goal. He didn't do either.
Deco Overeed now down on the right hand side, goes down rather easily under the challenge from Gomez, wanted a free kick and he's not got it. And I think David Coote, the referee, and the assistant actually, Timothy Wood, have got that right between them. It's a throw into Liverpool. David Coote, the referee, it's his first major semi-final, and actually he was the referee when Liverpool were knocked out of both domestic cups last season. 0-0 tonight. Jimenez, ball bounces over his head, bounces for Pereira into the box. Pereira pulls it back. Willian could be in. Great footwork. Oh, great finish too. Oh, that is wonderful from Willian. 35 years old, but absolute twinkle toes from the veteran Brazilian. He had a lot to do there. He skipped through, danced through, and then the finish itself. Fulham's first attempt on goal in front of the Kop. It's Liverpool 0, Fulham 1.
Yeah, listen, that's not what Liverpool have had to deal with all this game. Bit of defending to be done. They were a little bit lapse. Virgil van Dijk lets the ball bounce over his head. Jimenez is in front of him. It bounces in front of Jimenez. It bounces over Van Dijk. In fact, he heads it on to Pereira. Pereira gets the wrong side of Van Dijk. He nudges it into Willian, who's kind of around the penalty spot. And then Willian does the rest. He does nice little twinkle toes, past 2 or 3 players, could have gone down, stays on his feet, ends up on the corner of the 6-yard box, and he puts it in between the keeper's legs, I think. Really good finish, really positive, goes in the near post. Kelleher, no chance.
Well, what about that for Fulham Football Club? Their first goal in a League Cup semi-final, and it's scored at Anfield in front of the Cup by Willian, his 5th goal of the season. He's no stranger to scoring goals on this famous ground. Willian did actually score on the day of the famous Steven Gerrard slip when Demba Ba scored. Willian scored the 2nd goal for Jose Mourinho's Chelsea that day, and here he is now all these years later. That was back in 2014. Now here we are in 2024, and Willian's still scoring at Anfield.
Yeah, and still giving good performances as well. He looked sharp. He's 35 years old. He looks like he was when he was 28.
Here's Elliott for Liverpool, now trying to respond. Cross bounces behind off Palhinha, and it's a corner to Liverpool from the right-hand side, the first corner of the match. Well, that's spiced things up in this semi-final for Liverpool to go a goal down. Liverpool with the corner to be taken from the far side in front of the Fulham supporters, who've got plenty to say for themselves. You can see that they're very animated in there. And here is the corner from Elliott, which is headed down and away by Palhinha. Comes out to McAllister, he shoots, hits the back of Pereira, bounces all the way back to Gomez, who's 30 yards from goal. Nice work from Jones to beat Jimenez. Now Jota's into the play, left side of the box, curls it in, right foot of the back post. Elliott shoots across the face of goal, but actually the offside flag was up against him. If he'd found the net from there, it wouldn't have counted, and it's Fulham's free kick.
Yeah, again it comes from Jota. Bit of play between Gomez and Jota down the left-hand side. Jota just lifts it to the far post. Let's have a look at this, watching the replay. Yes, linesman gets it absolutely spot on.
So Liverpool are trailing. Liverpool 1-0 down to the Willian goal in the 20th minute. When Liverpool have played the first leg of a League Cup semi-final at Anfield, they've reached the final on 6 out of 8 occasions. They've never lost the first leg at home, and Liverpool generally in semi-finals, in 2-leg semi-finals, when they've played at Anfield, they have lost precisely 1 semi-final first leg out of 17 played, and that was way back in 1971 in the Fairs Cup, the old Fairs Cup, when it was actually Leeds who won that match. But here, 1-0 down. Harrison Reed, the captain, just going across to David Coote as Fulham win a free kick on the halfway line. The Fulham supporters in good voice, the Liverpool fans now trying to respond and getting behind their team. You'll hear both of the second legs of the semi-finals. 5 Live, the place to listen to them the midweek after next. FA Cup replays, commentaries on 5 Live next Tuesday and Wednesday night. But the ball played forward for Fulham, and Van Dijk is yellow carded for a challenge on Pereira. It was a bouncing ball, and David Coote has spotted something there from the Liverpool captain that he deemed worthy of a yellow card. Van Dijk looks less than impressed.
Yeah, and
I mean, he's holding his head, Pereira.
Yeah, he is. Pereira's he's rolled around a few times now. Let's get it right. Yeah, I don't think there's anything in that at all. I think Van Dijk's just put his arms. In fact, it's a straight arm. He's put his arms out straight to try and give himself a bit of space. Hold off Pereira. I think his hand has found Pereira's face, and Pereira's gone down like he's, I don't know, had a slab of cement on his head. That's just ridiculous. You've got to get on with it. I mean, to go down like that and roll around 4 or 5 times, it's just a joke. Yes, he caught his hand in his face, but you've got to get up and play. It's not a yellow card either. And
as they jostled for the bouncing ball, Van Dijk has gone in there with his arm outstretched, and yes, his hand has caught Pereira in the face, and I'm not sure, whether there's blood. I don't know. The medical people are there, but
it's a hand, isn't it? It's a hand. It's not an elbow. He hasn't, thrown he's put his hands out to try and give himself a bit of space. Listen, I hope Pereira's okay, but from what I've seen on this replay here, I've just seen a hand, maybe a finger in the eye. I don't know, but it didn't look as bad as the roles I've seen him do, let me tell you that.
No, I would agree with you, and he's on his feet, and you can hear the reaction from the Liverpool supporters. Liverpool 0, Fulham 1, and Pereira is back on his feet now. And he's not needing to change his shirt, which suggests to me that there maybe isn't any blood involved in that. And Virgil van Dijk is on a yellow card now, the Liverpool captain. So the referee marches out the 10 yards. And Fulham have got a free kick. Willian can do some very clever things, can't he, with his delivery from free kicks. He's already scored a super goal. And he's standing over the ball, 30 yards from goal, maybe a little bit more than that. There are some instructions. Marco Silva is on the edge of his coaching area with all his various staff with him, so there's a very, very clear signal. Willian curls it in, right-footed towards the back post. It's headed across, but headed into the arms of Kelleher, who's able to drop down onto his knees, catch it, underarm it out. Gravenberg, Liverpool being roared on by the home crowd, 1-0 down. Gravenberg gives it to Bradley, turns back to Gravenberg. The Dutchman plays it in low to the edge of the area, and that's easily flicked away, cleared away by Fulham, by Diop on the edge of his penalty area, and eventually out of play, deflected for a throw-in to Fulham halfway inside their own half.
Yeah, I think what happened there, the ball, it actually was going out and it was going to be a Liverpool throw, but I think Gravenberg caught it on the pitch
before it went
out, and the linesman spotted him, and it's a free kick against Liverpool for handball.
Careless. If that was the Premier League, that would very much be a too bad, too good, wouldn't it, for a Sunday night match of the day. Liverpool 0, Fulham 1, that's Dion Dublin. And here's Deco Overeed on the right-hand side. In comes the challenge from Gomez to put it out of play. But if you get a chance to see it, lovely finish from Willian. After Van Dijk's header, as Dion said, back into the penalty area, lacked a bit of power, and Pereira was onto it. Found Willian, who was between the penalty spot and the edge of the box, danced over one challenge. There were two other defenders in there, took a couple of touches and then hit it low past Kelleher, who was beaten at his near post, the Liverpool goalkeeper, and that was that. And still, that's the only chance that Fulham have had in the match.
Yeah, it's, Liverpool have had more of the ball. Obviously you'd expect them to as well, but
ball's played forward to Diaz for Liverpool, but Tosin Adarabioyo was quick there, sharp, and was able to play the ball out of play inside the penalty area out to the far side, throwing to Liverpool on the right. Just to remind you as well, that whole business with Pereira, no VAR in operation tonight, as Robinson doesn't clear. Bradley was onto this, but Bradley is challenged by Palhinha, and now Fulham have it back in their own left back area. It's cleared away by Palhinha to the halfway line. Konate heads it back. Elliott. Now here is Jones. Jones being chased by Pereira. Finds Gomez, and Liverpool start again in the centre circle with Van Dijk. Liverpool 0, Fulham 1 is the score. Heavy touch from Bradley, and it's back to Konate. Van Dijk. Gomez, pass was slightly behind him, and so Liverpool have to go back to Jones inside his own half. Bradley in a more central position. Now Konate using Elliott on the far side. So Jurgen Klopp making his changes tonight. So Elliott in the main playing on the right, further forward. Both Nunez and Gakpo among the substitutes this evening. And Liverpool having to go all the way back to goalkeeper Kelleher, who takes a touch and passes it out to Van Dijk. Kelleher looks downfield. He's well out of his penalty area, but plays it short to Gravenberg, who turns, and he's over the halfway line now. Gravenberg. Elliott takes it over on the right. He's got Bradley to his right, but in comes Palhinha with a challenge. That's a good one as well, and the ball rolls out of play for a throw into Liverpool, level with the edge of the Fulham box. Back to Elliott again. Now McAllister, right-footed ball, high, right across the box, headed infield by Gomez, and then rather sliced down into the right-back area by Castagna. Decode over Reed, was put under pressure by Jones as he cleared that. Now Gravenberg chests it down. Jimenez inside his own half. He's gone down, might have been caught. The referee says play on. He's played the advantage. Jimenez is now getting up. Robinson tearing down the left for Fulham. Bradley dives in. Still Robinson. Left-footed cross. It's over the top of Pereira, but was headed away by Van Dijk and then cleared away by Jones on the edge of the box. He's been pulled back by Reed, but he kept his feet there, and it's Liverpool who now look to counter-attack. Diaz, one or two Fulham players out of position, but Diaz delays, and that means Fulham are back in position. Elliott wants the ball. McAllister, though, didn't play it. He was pointing for it, Elliott, and I think McAllister did spot it, but decided not to play it. So it all starts again for Liverpool on the right-hand side. Elliott back in field to Gravenberch. Here's Diaz, 25 yards out, low to the edge of the area. Jota, then Diaz with a shot, but that immediately charged down by Diop. And Liverpool again start from the halfway line.
Yeah, they're trying to find those little triangles, but there's so many white shirts in there that when it goes anywhere near Fulham's box, they all go towards the ball. They stop the shot, they stop the pass, they regroup again back into that 4-4-2.
Liverpool crowd turn up the volume inside Anfield. Half an hour played, and Fulham without a trophy in their entire history since they were formed in 1879. Fulham lead by 1-0. Here's Jones on the left-hand side towards Luis Diaz, back into the full-back position. Gomez as Liverpool attack towards the Anfield Road end. Now Diaz again. Diaz, in comes the challenge on him from Palhinha, and it's out for another throw to Liverpool, level with the edge of the box. Gomez to take this, which he does, onto the chest of Jones, and then back to Van Dijk nearer the halfway line. Konate switches the point of attack to the right-hand side. Elliott, who's all hustle and bustle, the former Fulham youngster, remember, played for Fulham when he was only 16 years old. Back to Konate in the centre of the field. Konate to the right-hand side. Gravenberch is there and begins to move in field. Robinson has gone with him, but they're well drilled, Fulham, by Marco Silva. They know their jobs here. You can see it from our high commentary position. Konate back out to the right-hand side to Elliott. Now Elliott again back into the centre circle. Van Dijk. And Liverpool created relatively little so far in the match. The effort from Jones, the ball that was flashed across the penalty area by Bradley, but apart from that, very little. A little uneasy Anfield as they come forward, and Konate almost passed the ball out of play. Bradley did well to get back and keep it in, and it's still in. Konate now to Bradley, a flick from him. Gravenberch pulls it back and then tried to cut it back. It was intercepted. Elliott's still in the box. Elliott's ball across, that hits Robinson and bounces down into the left back area, and the goal scorer Willian is there next to his own corner flag. Willian being put under pressure and eventually drawing the goal kick.
Yeah, difficult for Liverpool to try and find any space at all. They've kept it. Bradley's done well down the right hand side, trying to give and go. He's not got the he's been giving, but he's not been getting it back. So the runs he's making at the moment are not actually working for him down the right hand side. And every time Liverpool get anywhere near that goal, there's so many white shirts there closing them down. What I have noticed though is when they are getting to a certain point on the pitch, Liverpool with the ball, they're waiting for one white shirt to go and squeeze. When one white shirt goes, that's the trigger. They go together.
Liverpool 0, Fulham 1. It's Dion Dublin. Just noticed, Dion, when I looked at you there, you've got glitter on your left cheek.
Have I really?
Doing a bit of painting this afternoon. Have you?
I did do a bit of colouring in with my daughter.
A bit of colouring in, yes. Yes, that's a familiar one.
Oh yes, I want a bit of glitter, to be fair. This Saturday. It's normally Saturday night the glitter comes out.
It's normally the one when you do that and then you forget.
Yes, like tonight.
Doing the face paint.
Like tonight, yes.
Well, it looks great. Let me put it that way. A bit of golden green it is. Very Brazilian. Liverpool 0, Fulham 1, and Fulham with the ball half inside their own half, but Jota did well, put Adebayo under pressure, and Diaz takes it up. Jota cuts it back. Some people got very excited in the stand around us when Jota cut that back, but there were two Fulham players in the right place, and Palhinha was able to chip it out for a throw down the left-hand side. And high times for Fulham Football Club in their history, involved in only 2 major cup finals. Liverpool take the throw on the left-hand side. Gomez back towards McAllister. McAllister then goes central to Konate. Bradley makes himself available on the right-hand side. He's actually retreating out towards the right wing and now receives it, gives it back to Konate. Konate square towards Van Dijk again. Gomez is right out here on the left-hand side. But obviously Liverpool, without those first choice full-backs, Alexander-Arnold and Robertson, both out of the picture. Tsimikas as well, after Jurgen Klopp fell on him and fractured his collarbone in the Arsenal match here before Christmas. You know, for all the good that Bradley and Gomez are doing, they are not those two or three. Ball played to the edge of the area. Liverpool again. Now Jones does well, goes around the outside towards the dead ball line. The challenge comes in on him, and it's deflected behind. The final touch was off the Fulham man Castagna, and it's a corner to Liverpool from the left.
Yeah, it's got to take a little bit more of that. Few players in the final third with Liverpool shirts on, taking Fulham players on, trying to commit, move them about a bit more.
So it is the Liverpool corner, which is taken short to Elliott. Now to Jones inside the box. Jones goes for the sort of cross shot, but Cordova-Reid was right in front of him, and the ball rattled straight into the advertising hoardings. And behind for another Liverpool corner from the left-hand side. McAllister has gone across to take this. This won't be a short corner. He's going to deliver it right into the danger area. And there it goes into the 6-yard box. Leno got something on it, got his fists to it to punch it out towards the edge of the area. He was under pressure. Liverpool trying to get it back in there, and there's a foul. Liverpool free kick just outside the box. Harrison Reed just stepped in and brought down, I think, Jota. So it's a free kick. Yep, Jota it is, just sitting up now. So a free kick in a very good position for Liverpool, right of centre.
Yeah, just caught, I think it was Jota on his left ankle there with a stud. We are literally corner of the D, about 5 yards, a cut of the grass away from the edge of the box, and we are 6 yards away from the edge of the box. And we've got Elliott over the ball, McAllister's over the ball. I think it favours the left foot, I've got to say.
Reed came in from behind, but it was actually Jimenez who conceded the free kick. So Elliott and McAllister are the two over this. You'd be favouring Elliott.
From this position, I think so, but there's a senior down there, and I think it's McAllister, so who knows.
Diaz has just come out of the wall to have a word to see what the plan is, and now he goes back in there. The two of them, Elliott and McAllister, are talking to one another, hands over mouths. Presume that'll be in English. McAllister steps away to the left of the ball. Elliott is there as well. The body language is looking more McAllister than Elliott to me. Here he comes. McAllister steps up, he strikes it into the wall, bounces back to him. Williams able to get something on it, and then Robinson as well for Fulham, and it all comes to nothing. Maybe wrong decision, maybe seniority was the wrong thing. Excellent work from Jimenez in the centre circle. Turns, changes the play to the left hand side to Willian, and then Bradley is able to get a foot on the ball to deflect it out for a throw-in down the left hand side.
Yeah, pretty frustrating, that free kick, hitting the wall there. Got to get it over the wall, work the keeper, but as soon as that ball goes loose and it's at a Fulham foot in the middle of the park, they are flying forward, and the first player they look for is Willian down that left hand side.
Yeah, good work from Pereira crossing the ball deep. Cordova-Reid's got space here, but he couldn't get the ball down, and Diaz was very quickly back into his own penalty area. Miscontrol, bounced up. If he'd been able to take advantage there, Cordova-Reid, he was unmarked 10 yards out.
Yeah, it was a cross from the left hand side which beat everybody. It beat Gomez. Gomez was the last man. He had two players to mark, beat everybody. Cordova-Reid is on the edge of the, should I say, right level with a penalty spot, but his first touch just wasn't good enough. Diaz doing some great defensive work.
I think that's the second best chance of the match. So Fulham leading 1-0, Liverpool 0, Fulham 1. Yes, that's the score. Corner, there first, in. Jimenez volleys it. It's blocked inside the box after Pereira delivered it to him. It was well worked, but Liverpool managed to get a body in the way of the shot. Jimenez is appealing to the referee, suggesting it might have been handball, but that ship has sailed. No VAR. And now Gomez in his own left-back position. Cordova-Reid is doing well down there against him. In fact, Fulham have won it back, but the ball across the box from Palhinha has actually set Liverpool off on a counter-attack. Konate quickly to Bradley. Fulham are quickly getting back into position, and now Konate has got it on his feet, and Fulham are absolutely back in the roles that they've occupied for most of this game. The two banks, Konate, Reed puts in a challenge on him. Now Elliott on the right hand side in front of the Sir Kenny Dalglish stand with his name in red on the front of the roof, high above the pitch. Back in towards Van Dijk. Van Dijk through the middle to Jones. And now Gomez. Jota has appeared on the left-hand side here. Liverpool still trailing by 1-0. Liverpool have not lost here at Anfield since the March of last year. Here's Jota. Jota up towards the edge of the penalty area. In come the challengers, but the ball just runs through to Leno, and he's able to pick it up.
Yeah, you've got to tip your hat to Fulham at the moment, because when they are squeezing, when Liverpool have the ball in the final third, they are really squeezing in numbers and really high up just by Liverpool's penalty box. But when they lose it, the white shirts that are streaming back to get into that shape, incredible work.
1-0 Fulham lead through the Willian goal. Yes, February it was that Liverpool last lost here in the Champions League, that extraordinary night against Real Madrid, the 5-2 defeat. Their last domestic defeat was against Leeds in the October of 2022. But losing here to Fulham on the night. Long way to go in the tie yet. Reed turns on the halfway line under pressure from Gomez and can only shank it out of play for a throw-in to Liverpool on the halfway line. Gomez standing just next to Jurgen Klopp. Long coat tonight, padded coat, although it's not as cold. I don't think it's as cold as it was at Middlesbrough last night, listening to Ian Dennis and Pat Nevin and Stuart Downing, who were shivering away as Middlesbrough recorded their famous win. Throw into Liverpool, back towards Konate. Now Elliott, left-footed ball, but that's behind Gomez. It bounces up. He does well actually to get his head to it. No, he couldn't keep it in, and it's a throw into Fulham on the halfway line. It is, just not
bit sloppy
clicking.
that.
Yep, sloppy.
Bit sloppy
Sums
that.
it up.
Elliott trying to play that crossfield ball, gets it all wrong, and Gomez can't keep it in. This is where you just have to be a little bit patient and believe in the system and the manager. Go through the thirds, find a teammate, get your confidence back.
1-0 Fulham lead. Reed keeping the ball in on the halfway line, bounces back. Reed turns nicely, bounces away though off Jones. Now McAllister. Reed steps in again. He's joined there by Palhinha, and a little touch from Palhinha. Well, Liverpool were away on the counter-attack, and David Coote has given the free kick, and there's great frustration there from Jurgen Klopp and Pep Lijnders and the Liverpool players and the Liverpool supporters. Should have played advantage.
Yeah, he should have done. I think he blew his whistle, and then a split second later McAllister does a little bit of magic, plays it through to Diaz, and Diaz is on 3. I think it was a 3-on-2 they had Liverpool, but the referee blew his whistle. He knew he shouldn't have done it. He knew that.
Adds to the frustration. Disjointed display by Liverpool. They've not created the chances. They're 1-0 down, then something like that happens, and then there's a misplaced pass by Bradley that Diop is able to allow to roll over the dead ball line for a goal kick. Half-time approaching, 3 minutes of the first 45 to play. Still 1-0 Fulham. At half-time we'll have the latest from the Master Snooker. We'll hear from Fran Kirby, and we'll hear from Rory McIlroy as well at half-time. At least that's the plan. And as well, frustration again from the Liverpool supporters, because Fulham are taking all of the time that they can. Leno had to be quick there. He must be flirting with a yellow card for wasting time.
I think another second and the referee was on his way to him.
As Diop plays the ball forward onto the head of Konate, but it comes back for Fulham. And now Pereira in the centre circle. Pereira gives it to the left-hand side. Robinson takes it on. Robinson's against Bradley, goes between the two players. Konate comes across, and then might have taken out Robinson, who stayed on his feet. Could have gone down there, Robinson, and I think that would have been a free kick right on the edge of the penalty area, but he kept his feet.
Yeah, he's done well. He's done well to stay on his feet there. He thought he had a chance of getting on the end of the ball, but Konate was strong.
I can think of quite a few players who would have gone down there, Dion, to try and win a penalty.
Most would have done jump.
Now, suddenly, Liverpool, Gravenberch into the challenge, but Reed's able to win it back. Willian now. Willian stabs it infield towards Pereira. Pereira turns away from Jones. Right-footed ball over the top to the right-hand side. Castagna heads it back to the edge of the area. Jimenez turns against Van Dijk, who'd got a foot in. And then Pereira with a left foot shot from 23, 24 yards. But Kelleher was able to gather it into his body.
Yeah, when they go forward, Jimenez is causing the two centre-halves, Konate and Van Dijk, all kinds of problems, just being physical, holding the ball up, just doing what old-fashioned footballers, or should I say centre-forwards, used to do, making it difficult for the centre-halves to be comfortable. They're not comfortable at the moment, Liverpool at the back.
1-0 Fulham lead. Half-time approaching. And it's not happened for Liverpool here today. Liverpool, who are unbeaten in 23 matches in all competitions here at Anfield. They've won 19 of those. almost always score. The only match this season here they've not scored, the 0-0 against Manchester United before Christmas. Diaz now on the left-hand side with a dart into the box against Castagna, but he defends that well, turns and is able to play it away to Jimenez, who is dispossessed but also fouled. Van Dijk just tugged him round as Jimenez was trying to get that ball under control. He won the free kick, really, Jimenez.
Yeah, he did. He came away from the halfway line towards his own goal in order to help his team out. Great work from Castagna, pings it into Jimenez. He holds it up well. He turns Van Dijk, and he's just doing what the centre forward needs to do: get his team up the pitch, hold the ball in, help his defenders out.
They're on to Leno again as he takes this free kick downfield and again slips over onto his backside, but it stays in play. And Jimenez, 3 minutes of added time at the end of this first half. Jimenez tried to curl the ball into the box to Dicko-Reid, but overhit it. So Liverpool quickly get the ball out. There's no delaying it from Liverpool. They know time is of the essence. Kelleher passing it forward to McAllister. Konate now goes for the long pass. Konate, but I think he's overhit that. He has, through to Leno, who Jota knows that he needs to go and chase it, but Leno allows it to roll all the way out of play, and that's cheered the Fulham fans. Give it a great ovation to the ball as it eventually bounces over the dead ball line. And here we will see how long Leno will take. The odds are tumbling on Leno getting a yellow card, time wasting in this match. Here he comes. That was okay, I think.
He's done well. The referee had a sneaky little look. Nothing in that one.
Headed forward for Liverpool by Jones, and then out of play for another throw, level with the edge of the box. Liverpool in added time, 2 minutes to play of added time at the end of this first half, as Gomez and Dicko-Reid wrestle with one another, and then Dicko-Reid actually just tossed the ball away and survives that as well. It obviously wasn't tossed far enough away, and Liverpool were able to collect it, take the free kick. Here they are again. Bradley now on the right-hand side, a high ball in towards the back post. Luis Diaz beaten in the air by Castagna, comes out to Gomez on the left-hand side. Gomez is left-footed cross towards the penalty spot. Palhinha headed that away, and then Reid is able to play it downfield, but there's no one there, way beyond Jimenez. So Kelleher comes all the way out of his penalty area, almost to the centre circle, and then Konate is almost dispossessed by Pereira, and actually Pereira forces him to concede a throw on the far side.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Reid actually plays the ball past Jimenez into a space, and Kelleher, the keeper, has to come out. Reid follows his run, so once Reid goes, Pereira goes, Willian goes, and that's where they squeeze the space in there. Konate gets rushed.
Throw in, Robinson long down the line for the goal scorer, Willian, but Liverpool clear, comes back for Fulham. Reid up to the edge of the penalty area. Robinson now against Bradley. Robinson has Bradley slipped, but Robinson had checked back. Now Willian, Bradley in to put it out of play 3 or 4 yards from the corner flag. Throw into Fulham on the left hand side. Played it well, Fulham, in the first half, as they did in the match when I last saw them a couple of weeks ago against Arsenal, when the game plan worked absolutely perfectly. Throw in, Robinson takes this long into the penalty area, it bounces, and Kelleher comes and then collides with the Fulham man who was in there, but he caught the ball, Kelleher, launches it away downfield. Jota back to Elliott on the halfway line, then Elliott forward to Jones. He might have been tugged back by Dicko-Reid. Luis Diaz, right-footed ball across the box, a diving header away from Diop. Comes out to Gomez, shoots low, but it bounces wide of the left post as he looked at it from 23 yards. Bounces wide, and that is the last action of the first half. The Fulham player who collided with Kelleher is still down, so the Fulham medical staff are racing onto the field, but that's it, half time in the first leg of this semi-final. It's Fulham who are leading by the Willian goal, Dion Dublin.
Yeah, just not enough in the final third from Liverpool, just taking and making wrong options in that final third. Loads of white shirts though, back in the box defending. When they defend in numbers. When they attack in numbers as well. So at the moment, Liverpool having the lion's share of the ball, most definitely, but Fulham well organised, well drilled, and they well deserve this lead in the first half as well.
Yep, not happened for Liverpool. Not been much of a match actually in terms of chances, excitement. Liverpool have created relatively little, and Fulham have taken their big chance. Harrison Reed it is, who is still receiving treatment. He's on his feet now. He's feeling his left leg, so whether it's a dead leg problem, we'll see if he's able to come out for the start of the second half, the Fulham captain. But at half-time here at Anfield, Liverpool 0, Fulham 1.
Thank you very much for that. John Murray and Dion Dublin are at Anfield for us. Dion, just listening to you in the first half, I mean, as you said, Fulham in front, Liverpool have had more of the ball, not created too much with it, but I was going to ask you more about Liverpool defensively in this game. Yes, there was the error from Virgil van Dijk for the goal. Yes, he's now on a yellow card. But overall, how have you found their defensive performance?
They don't seem to be together tonight. They don't seem to be a defensive unit. Virgil seems to be playing his game. Konate seems to be playing his game. Bradley's flying down the right-hand side like a right winger, and Gomez is playing like a left winger. And Jimenez is occupying the two centre-halves, and they're not enjoying playing against Jimenez tonight. I think that's the problem for Liverpool. They don't know how to play Jimenez. He's been stronger. He's been a little bit more wilier as well. And when Fulham squeeze, Kelly, they're squeezing with one person that starts it, and then they all go in behind him, and then Liverpool are getting caught on the ball. They're not quite comfortable enough tonight, Liverpool, for me.
Dion, thank you very much. Back with Dion Dublin and John Murray for the second half of that game, with Liverpool trailing Fulham by 1-0 at half-time in the first leg of their EFL Cup semi-final. Let's get the BBC News now on 5 Live with Jill Mackenzie.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thank you. Good evening. Hundreds of post office branch managers who were wrongly convicted because of the faulty Horizon IT system will have their names cleared under a new emergency law for England and Wales. It's expected to be introduced in the next few weeks, and Downing Street says it'll work with Scotland and Northern Ireland to help people there. Professor Chris Hodges is chair of the Horizon Compensation Advisory Board.
What strikes me is not just that it is important in relation to finally getting justice and fairness and steps towards closure for all the victims, but also it strikes me that the British public have responded to this, and it says something deeply fundamental about British values, that everyone knows this is not right.
New figures show the latest strike by junior doctors in England led to the cancellation of more than 113,000 hospital appointments and procedures. The 6-day walkout was the longest in the history of the NHS. The Defence Secretary Grant Shapps has warned Houthi rebels that action will be taken if they keep attacking ships in the Red Sea. Overnight, British and US naval forces destroyed missiles and drones deployed by the group, which is backed by Iran. Here's our defence correspondent, Jonathan Beale.
This comes after an ultimatum, essentially, issued earlier this month by a dozen nations, including the US and the UK, that if the Houthis did not stop this, there would be consequences. What are those consequences? The hint is it will be military strikes against Houthi targets in Yemen.
The US Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, says the White House supports tangible steps towards the creation of a Palestinian state, but it must exist alongside Israel in peace and security. He's been speaking to the Palestinian President, Mahmoud Abbas, during a visit to the occupied West Bank. The boss of the company charged with delivering the HS2 rail line says the estimated cost of the London to Birmingham stretch is now more than £65 billion. Sir John Thompson told MPs inflation means costs have increased by £8 to £10 billion. And Amazon is laying off more than 500 employees working on its video game streaming platform Twitch. That's a third of the website's workforce.
Take a moment and relax. With BBC Sounds, we've got the morning after mix, soothing music chosen by Slowdive. The sleeping forecast to help you drift off to sleep. And find your inner peace with the Mindful Mix, fireplace soundscapes. Search New Year, listen only on BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sport with Kelly Cates.
On 5 Live. Listen on BBC Sounds.
Hello, welcome back. Coming up, there's second half commentary from Anfield as Liverpool take on Fulham. It's currently 1-0 to Marco Silva's side in the first leg of their EFL Cup semi-final. Our commentary team of Dion Dublin and John Murray will be with us very shortly. And the live sport continues this evening. Mark Selby is in first round action at the Masters Snooker. Jamie Broughton has the latest from Alexandra Palace.
And the three-time champion Mark Selby is closing in on a place in the quarter-finals. He now leads Robert Milkins by 4 frames to nil at the mid-session interval. Breaks of 119, 53 and 63 have been the highlights so far for Selby. Milkins needs a fast start after the break or this match could be quickly over. The winner faces Mark Allen in the last 8. Allen came through 6-5 against John Higgins earlier today in a final frame decider.
Jamie, thank you very much. Regular updates on that from Jamie Broughton throughout the evening. And of course, you can follow it on the BBC Sport website as well. In the other sport headlines, there was British success on the opening day of the European Track Cycling Championships in Apeldoorn, as Emma Finnegan, Sophie Capewell and Katie Marchant took silver in the women's team sprint earlier this evening. Will Tidball also claimed silver in the men's elimination race. Great Britain are guaranteed at least 2 more medals tomorrow. Both the men and women's team pursuit teams are racing for gold. In football, Gemma Granger has stepped down as manager of the Wales women's team after nearly 3 years in charge. She's taking over as Norway boss. And former Everton chairman Peter Johnson has died at the age of 84. Early on in his time in charge, he appointed Joe Royle as manager, and he led them to win the FA Cup in 1995. Chelsea midfielder Fran Kirby has been speaking to the BBC about her frustrations around comments on body image. She's been telling Emma Sanders that footballers are seen as robots and has called on the sport to do more to help those who are struggling.
Body image is such a huge impact in terms of any sport, in terms of any gender. I don't think that this is just a women's football problem. I think it's a problem throughout sport in itself. And I think for me, it's really important also to emphasise that, of course, we are professional athletes. We have to be fit to do our sport. And it's something that, for me, a body shape doesn't determine whether you're fit to play your sport. And that's probably the biggest thing. I think a lot of people see athletes as these robots that don't have certain elements that maybe other human beings have in terms of the way their body look, in the terms of the way their body reacts to certain situations. And I think it was really important to highlight that side of it because, you know, I've been on the end of some comments. My teammates have also been, I've seen my teammates have been on the end of some comments. I've seen other clubs. A lot of people reached out to me after the documentary saying, thank you. Like, we know about a girl in our team who's struggling with this. And, you know, we all really appreciate it. So, you know, it is a problem, but I don't think it's just, you know, a women's football problem. It's bigger than that. A younger player maybe coming through that gets a comment like that could end up not eating and having to compete at a high level, and then you see their performance drop, and then, you know, and it really impacts these young players coming through.
Yeah, and I guess moving forward, and not just, as you say, not just in women's football, but in women's sport in general, what would you like to see maybe change towards this stigma that obviously you said is around?
Obviously, the most important thing is being open and honest in terms of yourself. I know many people who have wrote to me saying that their teammate is struggling with this, but is the teammate actually communicating that, or is it something that people are seeing? And if you're just seeing it, why are you not doing something about it? And I think that's the most important thing. It's recognising when someone is going through something and kind of not taking control of the situation, but helping them, guiding them. You know, I've had conversation with players who I know and kind of saying, yeah, but you need to eat this. You know, and when you have to actually encourage them to eat it, to know that they need it to get the best out of themselves. And it stems from people that see the problem. I think if you see a problem, do you mention it to your coach? Do you mention it to them? Do you try and work around a welfare person? What can you do in terms of trying to help and try and drive this person in the right direction? And like I said, everyone is different. No one is the same. I'm not sitting here saying that every single human being who's playing sport has to eat a whole plate of spaghetti before a game, because everyone is different. That's, you know, it's fueling for what you need. And I think for me, especially growing up in this environment in terms of elite sport, and I've known when I've tried to stop fueling as much and it's affected my performance, it's affected how I feel. So I just try and give as much guidance as possible. And I think the older, more mature players are definitely in a position where they can do that.
That was Chelsea midfielder Fran Kirby. She raises lots of really interesting points, and you can find more of her interview on the BBC Sport website. Golf now, and Rory McIlroy says a world tour is his dream scenario amid ongoing talks to end the split that's dominated men's golf. The future remains uncertain. The PGA Tour are in discussion with Live Golf's backers, and McIlroy says there is untapped opportunity out there.
Informally, we sort of have most of that global schedule anyway. If you look at what all the tournaments that all the top players play, informally and sort of without any structure around it and between a few different tours, I think we have at least the majority of what a global tour would look like. You still need to make sure that the biggest tournaments in America are there. Obviously, that's the biggest place that we play, but also just trying to elevate some of the other tournaments around the world. So Middle East, continental Europe, UK and Ireland, the Far East, whether it be Japan, Korea, Singapore, Hong Kong, Australia, South Africa. I mean, you've got a lot of different opportunities there, and I think if we really want to, if everyone's talking about growing the game and trying to, especially if these investors are going to come into our game and they want to return on their capital, everyone needs to start thinking more globally around it, but globally in a holistic way, not really like this tour, that tour, another tour, really like, okay, well, what is the best structure for elite men's professional golf? So, the top 70 to 100 guys in the world. When you look at different sports and the media landscape and how much these media companies are paying for sporting events, I think you have to be able to guarantee them the product that they're paying for. So in my opinion, I would say that people would have to be contracted and sign up to a certain number of events every year that the sponsors and the media partners know that the guys that they want to be there are going to be there.
That was Rory McIlroy, and he begins his season at the Dubai Invitational tomorrow. Our commentary match this evening is from Anfield, where Liverpool are taking on Fulham in the first leg of their EFL Cup semi-final. Before we head back to our commentary teams there, Mark Schwarzer is with us. Mark, it's been a pretty flat game so far in the first half, although not for Fulham, who lead by a 0-0 and have taken their opportunity, while Liverpool have been wasteful. They're clearly using this opportunity to, time waste is a bit strong, but to kind of, to make sure they keep hold of the ball, not to rush anything. But there's an opportunity there. As Dion was saying, the Liverpool defence looks like it could be vulnerable in this game.
It does. I think Liverpool as a whole have struggled to come to terms with, slowing the pace of the game down at times, really putting Liverpool under pressure at key moments. Fulham are obviously very well drilled and very well organised. And when they have pressed, and they've pressed at key moments, they've forced errors from Liverpool. And then they've obviously made the most of it. And that's where they found themselves in a really good position, being 1-0 up. Of course, they're stifling the game. They're stifling Liverpool's game. And that's what the challenge is, right? That's what you do. You go to Anfield and you try and stifle Liverpool, because you don't want to try and match them at their game, because you're not going to be able to compete. So you've got to slow it down. You've got to stifle them. You've got to frustrate them, frustrate everyone in that stadium. And Fulham are doing that right at the moment.
Yeah, David got in touch on social media to say a disjointed Liverpool full of individual errors and a well-coached Fulham team with established patterns of play can't complain at the scoreline. That pretty much sums it up, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. I mean, I think for Liverpool, the frustration will be that it's not a case that you didn't expect that Fulham were just going to sit back and drop deeper and deeper and deeper. There's going to be a point where they are going to engage. They are going to put Liverpool under pressure. And I think the fact that Liverpool have almost been caught off guard a little bit, it seems, and that's probably the bit where you're kind of a little bit surprised. They haven't got going. They've had little moments. I thought Bert Leno made some like what looked like regular saves, but good saves because he held the ball. I mean, that's something that doesn't happen very often these days. It's a bit of a dying art, goalkeepers holding on to shots. And Bert Leno did that very, very well in that first half as well. I think Fulham, at the moment, I think their tactics, the way they've approached this game, the way that first half unfolded, was near perfect for them.
Mark, thank you very much. For now, Mark Schwarzer is going to be with us at the end of this game at Anfield as well. As things stand, it is Liverpool 0, Fulham 1 as we head into the second half at Anfield in the company of Dion Dublin and John Murray.
Thank you, Kelly. There's the whistle from David Coote. Liverpool kick off the second half. Fulham leading through the Willian goal. in the 20th minute. No changes at half-time. So Harrison Reed, the Fulham captain tonight, who was injured before half-time, is obviously okay. And he's out there and he's right in the thick of the action. And Liverpool, no changes yet. Both Darwin Núñez and Cody Gakpo among the substitutes tonight. Liverpool attacking down the left-hand side. And here is Diaz into the action, receives it from Jones. Diaz, right-footed ball, high across the edge of the penalty area. Liverpool attacking towards the Kop, headed away by Willian. And then Harrison Reed and Pereira complete the clearance up towards Jimenez, who is out-muscled by Konate. So Liverpool with Kelleher in goal, and then the back four of Connor Bradley, the Northern Ireland international, the 20-year-old, playing tonight with Alexander-Arnold on the injured list. Konate and Van Dijk, the central defenders. Gomez at left back. Bradley playing the ball in from the right, but Pereira is able to cut it out and then clear it away. The Liverpool midfield, Gravenberch, McAllister and Jones, and then Elliott, Jota and Diaz, the front three. Liverpool with the ball in the centre circle. Van Dijk, whose short back header let Fulham in for the opening goal, was also yellow carded for a debatable hand in the face of Pereira, but he is on a yellow card, the Liverpool captain. And Diaz playing the ball in towards Gravenberch on the edge of the box. Gravenberch wins it, shoots low, took a deflection, but Leno took the pace off it, and Leno across the 6-yard box was able to drop on it and prevent it from going out for a corner. And the Kop are already on to Bernd Leno over his alleged time wasting. Leno then in goal for Fulham. Castagna, Tosin Adarabioyo, Diop and Robinson, the back four. Palhinha and Reed, then De Cordova, Reed, Pereira, Willian and Jimenez. Dion Dublin is up here in the commentary position, high in the main stand with me, just zipping up your coat. Dion, just feeling that breeze as
just
it's
a little
blowing
bit.
in.
It's just dropped a bit, John. It's dropped a bit up here.
But it's not too bad. It's dry, but there is that cold breeze swirling around Anfield. And Liverpool with work to do here. Liverpool, the 9 times record winners of the League Cup, appeared in a record 13 finals in this competition, and also a record for the semi-finals. This is their 19th appearance in the semi-final of this competition. They've dominated it at times over the years. Liverpool in possession, 1-0 down. Konate, tall, plays the ball to the right-hand side to Bradley. Bradley right down in front of us. We can clearly see the number 84 on the back of his red shirt. Now Elliott takes it up, low to the edge of the area, misplaced. Robinson was able to step in for Fulham, but he can't keep the ball in, and it's out of play for a throw-in, and it's given us a throw-in to Fulham. Final touch went Fulham's way. Pereira takes it to the halfway line, but Liverpool back in possession. So they're the obvious options, Dion, for Jurgen Klopp, as Gravenberch strides forward with the ball, cuts it back onto his right foot, shoots wide from the edge of the box, throws his arms above his head as the ball rattled into the advertising hoardings rather than the back of the net.
Yeah, does everything right, Gravenberch there. Everybody thinks he's going to play it to the left-hand side, but he chops back on his right foot, and he goes with the eyes. He could have curled it to the keeper's left, but he goes across the keeper and he just drags it about a yard wide. Everything was perfect, but the finish so much better from Liverpool. Start of this second half.
That's their clearest chance.
Absolutely.
They weren't themselves in the first half. All of the changes, all of the advanced publicity, you'll be aware of how many important players Liverpool are missing at the moment. And Fulham leading by 1-0. One of their old stagers, Willian, scoring an excellent goal. And here he is, Willian, chasing back against Bradley. Bradley does well. Elliott shoots from distance, took a deflection into the path of Jota, and then a crucial challenge from Castagna just as Jota was looking to shoot. Adarabioyo is on one side, Castagna on the other, and Castagna was able to get something on it to take it away from Jota just at the most important moment.
Yeah, so much better from Liverpool. Now Fulham are on the back foot, Liverpool are on the front foot, they're squeezing from the front. Elliott just wanted to set fire to it, about 30 yards out, took a deflection, ended up at Jota's feet on the penalty spot. He just couldn't sort his feet out enough. Castagna gets there just in the nick of time, but that's where you need Jota to be.
So Liverpool with a little more urgency about them, really, as much as anything else, as Willian is dispossessed, challenged by Konate, and then Elliott plays it back into his own half. And Kelleher's going to actually have to come all the way up here almost to the halfway line to play it in field. That was dicing with danger.
That was
he passed it in
cool,
field,
wasn't it?
way out of his goal, passed it between two Fulham players. Jurgen Klopp always talks about his excellent use of his feet, and then not so good use of the feet from Willian, who was brilliant with his feet in that penalty area in the first half, but here has just passed it behind for a corner.
Yeah, and the volume has gone up a few notches as well. You can hear these Liverpool fans thinking, this is the time we need to play our part.
Fulham are under pressure now. Whole atmosphere, the mood's changed. Liverpool's performance has gone up a couple of gears, as it had to. Elliott with the corner then, from the right, into the near post. That's headed away by Cordova-Reid. Shot from McAllister, blocked on the edge of the box, comes to Gomez. He turns it to his left to Jones. Jones, right foot shot from the angle, but straight into the body of Leno, the goalkeeper, who's able to catch it securely. And Pereira, who has been public enemy number one here because he was involved in the incident in which Van Dijk was booked. Pereira's gone down, stayed down, and the referee's actually calling on the medical people. So he's saying to Pereira, if you need treatment here, then you'll have to come off the field. And Pereira's got to his feet, but it's too late. And David Coots had enough of this, and he said, I don't care if you're on your feet. You wanted the treatment. You're going to have to leave the field with the medical people.
And that's brilliant as well from the referee, taking absolute control of this game. He's gone down, trying to slow it down, Pereira. Referee said, if you're down, fine, stay down. Cordova-Reid was actually waving to the physio, saying, no, we don't need you, we are fine. But the referee said, no, you want the physio on, he's on, you have to go off. Brilliant by the referee, well done.
Mind you, it's probably taken more than 30 seconds to get off the field. He's now going to be off the field for 30 seconds, and all of that is going to have to be added on at the end of this match. 7 minutes played in the second half. Liverpool 0, Fulham 1. Liverpool, who've scored in every game but one this season. The 0-0 draw against Manchester United, that rearguard action, it's been better than that from Fulham. They've been very effective when they've come forward. And here's Jimenez on the right-hand side. Van Dijk had to be sharp there, otherwise the cross from Jimenez might have reached Cordova-Reid, and Van Dijk has put it out for a throw down the right. And now Pereira finally is back on the field to a chorus of Liverpool boos. But there are cheers mixed in with that from the Fulham fans. The Fulham fans who are desperately hoping that their team can take this lead, or maybe even a bigger lead, back to Craven Cottage in a fortnight's time. This is 5 Live from the BBC. You can listen to 5 Live on BBC Sounds as well. You can go back and listen to the live radio again. If you're a Middlesbrough fan, you can go and listen back to the commentary from last night with Ian Dennis and Pat Nevin. Famous night for Middlesbrough. And 5 Live, the place to listen live to the commentaries on the second legs, the midweek after next. This weekend, Newcastle, Manchester City, 5:30 Saturday, Everton, Aston Villa, 2 o'clock Sunday, and Manchester United, Tottenham, 4:30 Sunday are our Premier League commentaries. Elliott, 30 yards out, trying to slip the ball through to Luis Diaz on the edge of the area. It was intercepted though, the Fulham defenders came together. And what have we had, Dion? Almost 10 minutes in the second half, and Jurgen Klopp is saying, right, time for Nunez and Gakpo.
Yeah, and I think he's right as well. While Liverpool are in the ascendancy, while they've got their tails up, while they're in a good place going forward, why not get 2 forwards on to try and finish off all the hard work?
Although Liverpool have given it away on the halfway line, but Williams' ball bounced into the path of McAllister. Reid, though, plays it over the top, but that's way beyond anyone in a white shirt, and it's through for Kelleher. But other than those two, Nunez and Gakpo, the outfield players on the bench for Liverpool tonight, all youngsters. Bobby Clark, Cade Gordon, James McCullen, Owen Beck, Jarrell Kwanzaa and Trey Nyoni, as well as goalkeeper Alisson. Liverpool coming again. Luis Diaz, right-footed ball into the penalty area. That's an easy one for Leno to catch, and he just trots out towards the edge of the penalty area. The 2 major cup finals that Fulham have been involved in, as Leno plays it out underarms. Oh, and there's a missed poor touch from Castagna, straight out of play for a throw-in to Liverpool, taken quickly. Diaz, now Jota on the edge of the box, little ball in, Gravenberch, back to Jota, edge of the area, right foot, shoots straight into Robinson. Wanted too long. That was a little like Kai Havertz on Sunday in the FA Cup. Jota trying to find the perfect position, and by the time he did that, Fulham's defenders were in the right places.
Yeah, this is more like Liverpool forcing the opposition here at Anfield to make mistakes on the front foot, squeezing that final third, getting the ball back in the final third and attacking. So much better from Liverpool.
So Liverpool make the changes. Gravenberch coming off and Elliott. So one of the midfielders, and Cody Gakpo and Darwin Núñez come on, and they're carrying the orders out there. Harvey Elliott just slaps hands with Jurgen Klopp. Looks a little frustrated against the club where he started.
Yeah, I think he wanted a bit more time. Elliott doesn't look happy at all.
Yeah,
that's good. Disappointment. Wants to stay on the pitch. That's not bad at all. I don't mind that. Bit of disappointment.
Yeah, Bradley playing the ball into the penalty area, bounces off Núñez. Robinson clears it away from the full-back position. Yeah, Harvey Elliott, who actually started off with QPR, but his first professional appearances at Fulham, disappointed. Still 1-0. Oh, Jimenez taking the ball away for Fulham into the penalty area. Shoots across, took a deflection. Oh, Dikode Varida was almost onto that. Gomez just got a touch. What was he, 6 yards out, 7 yards out, and Gomez just got there in the nick of time.
Yeah, needed to get there as well, because Jimenez knew that he couldn't beat Konate for pace, had to chop back, tried to find a shot, and it nearly ricocheted into De Cordova's path. Good defending again from Liverpool.
So Liverpool now with Darwin Núñez through the middle, and Gakpo in a sort of advanced right central position, as Luis Diaz still on the left flank gets the ball back over there on the left hand side. De Cordova-Reid going with him. Luis Diaz then moving infield. Harrison steps in on that, and the ball runs away back towards the halfway line. Liverpool 0, Fulham 1. This the first leg of this semi-final here at Anfield. Konate on the right wing, effectively the central defender, goes back to McAllister, and McAllister now moving it infield, playing it forward, and Núñez bounces off him, and Harrison Reid is able to take possession of the ball and give it back to Castagna. Forward from Pereira. One pass and it was through there for Willian, but Konate was, I think, just able to get his legs together and stop it from running through to Willian. So Liverpool start again once more. Here is Van Dijk, who takes the ball and turns it to his right to Konate, then out to the right hand side to Bradley up against Robinson. Bradley, Jota, edge of the area. Now Gomez right on the edge of the box. Gomez couldn't find the pass through to Jota, and again Fulham clear it away towards the halfway line, where Liverpool through McAllister will go back to the goalkeeper. So 1-0 Fulham, but they've got over half an hour to play, and at the moment it really is it's looking like a backs to the wall rearguard operation, with Liverpool having just brought on those two more attacking players in Gakpo and Núñez, and the ball on the left hand side with Núñez, who does well, and a right-footed ball into the box, but above the head of Leno. He's able to catch it, and he overarms it out very quickly to Willian, and Willian now glides infield and then continues to glide away from McAllister, and he gives it to De Cordova-Reid on the right, and De Cordova-Reid to Pereira back to De Cordova-Reid, and his cross turned wide of his own goal by Konate in the middle. And there was a little bit of the optical illusion about that. For a moment I thought it was heading into his own net, but it was well wide, actually.
Yeah, brilliant work from Willian down the left hand side, just picking the right pass at the right time. And I'm thinking to myself, as they're going to cross it from the right hand side, Jimenez has to get across. Konate, he's on his heels. If he wasn't, it would have been 2-0. Liverpool have got all the ball, but they just need to put the ball in the back of the net.
That was a lovely slick move, wasn't it, by Fulham, the counter-attack. Willian at the heart of it again. Probably knows there won't be too many more occasions like this, not too many more occasions to play in a cup final. So Pereira takes this into the near post for Fulham, but it's headed away for Liverpool. Comes back to Pereira then to Jimenez, who goes for a Rabona cross and crosses it straight out of play.
A Rabona cross from, I don't know, 5 yards away from the corner flag.
And it went straight behind.
Yes. If I'd have tried that, I'd have fell straight over.
Yeah, that would you, Dion?
I would have fell over, most definitely.
Come on. As Chris Sutton would say, you are better than that. And that would have been that would have been quite spectacular if he'd been able to execute that, as Liverpool have possession inside their own half. Producer Rob is just showing me a video of Jimenez. Was that pre-match? He was practicing Rabona's pre-match, apparently.
Oh dear.
So he practiced it pre-match and tried it in the real thing.
It's okay doing it before the game and after the game. Can you do it during the game? That's what it's all about.
Rob's trying to explain. It's like a sort of game show. Rob's trying to explain something to me and I'm not getting the gist. He has Gakpo on the right hand side. Gakpo crossing right foot and it's headed away at the near post by Palhinha, who's very much for much of the match. Palhinha has played almost as like one of the back line. On the halfway line, Van Dijk jumps through. Williams won the ball back and he's played a first time ball to Cordova-Reid. There's no offside flag. He's got space on the right hand side, lots of space. Liverpool getting back now. Cordova-Reid's ball in, took a deflection actually off Konate, and that carried it into the arms of Kelleher.
Again, all come through Willian on the halfway line. A pass through the outside of his right boot. Cordova-Reid was on. He was in, but it was just a yard in front of him. All the Liverpool red shirts got back defensively.
Here's Pereira now. Fulham genuinely threatening when they come forward. And it's Willian again. He's been at the heart of it. He looks so dangerous. You've been there, Dion. Latter stage of your career, you know the years are running out, the opportunity's running out. It's got that written all over Willian's body language here tonight.
Yeah, it has. It's know-how of the game, really.
Oh, that pass is a little short for Fulham, but Harrison Reed, those little legs of his were going 20 to the dozen, and he just got there ahead of Darwin Núñez, and Fulham kept possession. Castagna infield. Palhinha, he turns one over the top. Cordova-Reid's running onto this one. He's onside. He's into the box on the right. He goes for goal. Kelleher makes the save, and it's a good save. Pushes it right across the box. I thought it was going to run into the path of Pereira, but it was a good save from...
He should have got his head up, John. He should have got his head up, Cordova-Reid. Great little spin, and he could have just rolled it across the box because Pereira had sprinted 50 yards. He would have had a tap in, left Konate for pace, but he didn't. He went for goal.
Poor choice from Cordova-Reid. That could easily have been 2-0 Fulham. As it is, Marco Silva's side lead by 1-0. I remember being here when he was Everton manager and Everton lost 5-2 and he was sacked in the morning. Today he could produce a truly memorable scoreline for Fulham. Job wouldn't be done, of course. Craven Cottage in the midweek after next. Jimenez playing the ball through the middle, but it was behind Pereira, and Liverpool have got it back. There's anxiety in the stands for the Liverpool supporters, but forward comes Jones. Now Luis Diaz is fouled by Cordova-Reid over on the it's near the left corner of the box, so it's actually quite a good position for a set piece.
Yeah, so much better from Liverpool. Fulham, actually, when they go forward, they do break with numbers, they do break with really good chances as well. It's just their final choice of pass or shot they're not getting. Otherwise they could have been 2 up at the moment. Liverpool looking really pacey on their breaks as well, getting lots of free kicks in wide areas, and they've got more threats on the pitch now.
And Jimenez, with his Rabona pre-match, he actually smacked it into the top corner of the practice net, so he scored with his Rabona pre-match. So that was that. Free kick then for Liverpool, played in by McAllister, but all the way through, over everyone, whether in red shirt or white shirt, into the arms of goalkeeper Leno. Liverpool 0, Fulham 1. 25 minutes, just over 25 minutes to play. And Fulham, 1975 FA Cup finalists, 2010 Europa League finalists, and that's been it in terms of major finals in this club's history. Roy Hodgson, the manager, when they reached that amazing run to the European final in 2010, and the manager in the 1975 FA Cup final, Dion, as the throw was taken down the line, one of the famous old managerial names, Alec Stock, was the manager of Fulham back then.
Wow.
Alec Stock, who the character Ron Manager was based on jumpers for goalposts
yes.
and all that, as I think Paul Whitehouse actually did say was the case. Throwing for Liverpool down in front of us. Bradley takes the throw. Jota up against Robinson. Now Bradley again takes it away from Willian. He's got 3 Fulham players around him. Tried to nutmeg Palhinha and was brought down by Palhinha, who's playing the innocent. But referee Coote immediately gave the free kick, won by Bradley.
Yeah, done really well. He did actually get Megs on Palhinha as well. Pops it through his legs. And we know about Palhinha, only one will go by, the ball will go by, or the man, not both.
Not both.
Not both. Free kick on the edge of the box. This is very, very dangerous. I think McAllister will be over this one.
Well, just like last night's semi-final, this one is very interestingly poised. Liverpool, free kick. McAllister to take this. They've got all of that goal power on now. No Salah, obviously. He is thousands of miles away. He can't do anything about it. But here's McAllister with the free kick in the Fulham left-back area near the corner of the box. McAllister plays it in low. Pereira got ahead on that. Shouts for handball. It bounced up. It was Robinson actually who got the initial head, and then perhaps via the deflection maybe it struck the arm of Palhinha. Certainly the cop thought so, but referee Coote not interested. No VAR, so that's gone. And then ball over the top. Castagna has to head it behind. He didn't know where Darwin Núñez was. Corner Liverpool.
Yeah, big shout from those Liverpool fans, but I'm just seeing the replay here. It's a poor ball in, and I think it did hit his hand, by the way. It did hit.
Was it Robinson?
I'm not sure who was on that near post. It was Robinson. Yeah, it hit
his own hand, so it's deflected off his head.
Yes. Referee waved it away very, very quickly though.
So I think deflection from head to arm would have meant that VAR would have said no, I think. Corner in from the near post. Headed away by Di Cordova-Reid. Back to McAllister. He's got it down. He plays it in, and Leno has to help it over the crossbar. Taking a couple of steps back. It would have been dropping in from McAllister, so it's another corner.
As much as that's making the keeper make a save, I think it's a really poor ball, and get it into your teammates.
Yeah. Corner is taken short this time. Gomez, left-footed ball in. He's got that all wrong. Got right underneath it, and it just sails through. An easy catch for Leno to make. So we are now, Dion, midway through the second half.
Yeah, this is a really difficult period for Liverpool, where they've had most of the ball, but they haven't been able to just do that final bit and put it in the back of the net. Fulham are still one up. Fulham are still one up. They are still, and every chance of going 2 up as well.
Núñez. Jones now on his left forward, deflected in! Cruel deflection! But Liverpool so needed it! And it's 1-1. Curtis Jones with a left-footed shot that took a big deflection. Leno was completely wrong-footed, and the ball sailed past him into the net. And Liverpool finally have found a way through, and it's 1-1 in the semi-final.
Yeah, edge of the box. Jones just trying his luck. I'm not sure if it was Diop or Adebayo. He took a shot from about 25 yards out. Jones set himself. Huge defect. Yeah, it was off. I think it's off Diop actually. And the keeper is going one way and the deflection sends it the other. Oh, wow.
Yes.
Adebayo, I think it is.
Stretching at it. And as he did so, it actually had his arms behind his back and it struck one of his arms, so it's 1-1. And now Liverpool looking for a second, and a shot from Jota from just outside the D is high over the top and bounces around in amongst the heads and the hands of the Liverpool supporters.
But they all want a bit more of it now in this final third. That shape that Fulham had so precise in the first half and the start of the second half has gone a little bit ragged now. That 4-4-2 or that 4-4-1-1 they've had is all over the place because Liverpool are attacking so quickly down the right-hand side and the left that those Fulham shirts have been pulled from pillar to post. Liverpool well on top.
So there we are, Liverpool have found their customary goal here at Anfield, or anywhere for that matter. And it is 1-1. Curtis Jones in the 68th minute. Remember, scored 2 goals in the big win against West Ham in the quarter-final here. Harrison Reed. And now Fulham and their supporters must be thinking, if Di Cordova-Reid had been able to find the ball to Pereira when when he broke through what might have been. But now this is going to be a big last 20 minutes for Fulham. Darwin Núñez carrying it forward for Liverpool. The Kop, Anfield in full cry. Liverpool with all of those attacking talents on the field, trying to get themselves into a leading position to take to Craven Cottage now that we're back all square in this first leg. But still low the threat of Fulham on the counter-attack. And I see that Marco Silva's going to make a couple of changes. Harry Wilson and Tom Kearney are going to come on for them. Wilson, the former Liverpool youngster. Liverpool low with Jota, through into the box, Núñez ball across, Gakpo, left foot, flashes into the net. And Liverpool scored twice in 3 minutes to turn the first leg of this semi-final right around. They've huffed and they've puffed, they've struggled, but first Curtis Jones with the deflection, and now an excellent finish from Gakpo, and it's Liverpool 2, Fulham 1.
Yes, Diogo Jota down the left-hand side, forcing Darwin Núñez to make a run outside him. He drops it into Núñez's pace, crosses it across the 6-yard box, and Gakpo is getting across his man like all good centre forwards should do. Nice and patient, get it into a good area and make sure the runs are in the right area too. Darwin Núñez pulls it back, bang, level with the near post. Gakpo, 2-1 Liverpool.
Well, it helps when you've got attacking talent like they have. And the two men who were brought on by Jurgen Klopp were the last two players involved in that goal. And Marco Silva wanted to make the changes, wasn't able to do it, and now they're 2-1 down. And it's Pereira, the former Manchester United man, who's riled the crowd. He's the first one off, and Willian as well making way. So Harry Wilson is welcome back, the former Liverpool youngster, the Welsh international. So Harry Wilson scampers over there to the far side. He's got one or two instructions for his teammates, and Tom Kearney comes on as well, the club captain. So Liverpool 2, Fulham 1, and Marco Silva's being able to make the changes, but possibly too late. Fulham will now do well to have any sort of result to take back to Craven Cottage, trailing as they do now by 2-1. It's taken a long time, but Liverpool found the moments. Final scores in the EFL Trophy: Blackpool 2, Burton 1, and Accrington 1, Bolton 3. The Peterborough Crawley game was postponed, by the way, and Chesterfield 5-0 up on Gateshead in the National League. Liverpool 2, Fulham 1. BBC Radio 5 Live, BBC Sounds. Here's Bradley down the right-hand side. He's got some space now. The young right back, low ball in towards the corner of the box. Gakpo back to Bradley again, challenged by Cordova-Reid. The referee says yes, it's a foul. Bradley brought down. Free kick to Liverpool just outside the box.
Yeah, Liverpool doing what you have to do when you start to get control of the game and you are attacking and you find yourself in the final third all the time. You have to make use of those attacking players, get the ball into an area where there's going to be, and that's exactly what they've done. Another free kick on the edge of the box, and this time Gakpo and Darwin Núñez are over the ball.
One or two scarves being twirled down there in the Kop, and spirits have soared for the Liverpool supporters. This free kick, Núñez and Gakpo and McAllister, they're all involved in this. It's very much right of centre. It's between the D and the corner of the box. Good work by Bradley again, winning the free kick. Núñez looks as though he is most likely to take it, and in fact he's the only contender. Gakpo and McAllister have wandered away. So Leno, the goalkeeper, just checking his angles. Comes across to the near post, 3-man wall, 4-man wall. Núñez takes it, but it swirls over the top of the crossbar and behind, and it is a goal kick. Liverpool 2, Fulham 1, after Fulham led for such a long time, led from the 20th minute, but those 2 goals in 3 minutes from Jones and Gakpo mean Liverpool now have the edge. Not unlike the league match here early last month, when Fulham led in the 87th minute and lost 4-3. as Fulham take the goal kick out from the back and succeed only in losing possession. Good pressing from Liverpool.
That's what Liverpool do, and that's what you have to do if Liverpool play their way at Anfield under the lights in the semi-final. I can't see anybody living with them. It's taken them a long time now to get to the standards I expect. They've had a little 5-minute period there where they've just blown Fulham away with good football, endeavour, organisation, good finishing, and a lot of it's come through Jota. I've got to say, he's been brilliant tonight.
Fulham, since Marco Silva made the changes, Wilson's gone to the right-hand side and De Cordova-Reid across to the left, and Kearney now part of the midfield with Reid and Palhinha. But it's Liverpool with Jones works it here to the right-hand side to Bradley, who's up against Robinson tight on him, but Bradley does well. Jones is involved there again. Now Jota on the edge of the box. Jota still going, left foot shot. Oh, that flashes just over the top left corner. He hit that.
Yeah, he did. He could have actually played a 1-2 with either Gakpo, Darwin Núñez, but he thought, listen, the gap opened up. He sort of dragged onto his left foot about 20 yards out, and it's happened 3 or 4 times tonight. McAllister's hit it over the bar, Jones has hit it over the bar, so the shooting boots on at the moment on the edge of the box.
But that was close. Dion Dublin with us, Mark Schwartzel will be with us as well on 5 Live Sport through to 10:30 before Gordon Smart takes over his new programme. If you've not heard it yet, it's into his 2nd week, so Gordon Smart every weekday night from 10:30. Football Daily will be available to download for free. You can subscribe in the morning. Football Transfer Daily this month as well, available as a podcast from BBC Sounds, where lies all live BBC radio for you to listen again to the radio, listen live, listen back to the commentaries. It's all there on BBC Sounds. Liverpool 2, Fulham 1, and Fulham with Reid. They've been hit with those 2 massive blows, those 2 Liverpool goals. De Cordova-Reid now, Robinson as well. Robinson still going, Bradley chasing. Robinson back to Kearney. Kearney now, Robinson again through to Kearney, who's onside in the full-back position. Kearney, but Liverpool now back in numbers, back to Robinson, who's going to do well to keep that in. In fact, he slips as he goes for it and can only drive it through and forward for a goal kick. Yep, Fulham's best bet clearly on the counter-attack. And Marco Silva there dancing out to the edge of the box. Yeah, he's hanging his head down there. You can clearly see his breath on the cold Merseyside air, and he's come across and he's having words to say to the 4th official as well, Marco Silva. That's quite an animated conversation. Tim Robinson is the 4th official. Núñez now for Liverpool. Bradley taking it on. Harrison Reid slides in and the ball runs out towards the right-hand side. Gakpo then back into the path of Núñez into the box, still going, beats Reid, byline, plays it to the near post, where Leno is able to drop down onto his knee and block it back into the penalty area, where Fulham are able to clear. Excellent.
Yeah, really good. Gakpo, Núñez there, really good sort of interplay down the right-hand side. Fulham a little bit all over the place at the moment. Fulham, they can't seem to find a good shape. Liverpool at the moment, wave after wave after wave of attack, looking very comfortable down the right-hand side in particular.
But they've brought a bit of quality. They've brought urgency. They've brought the incision, haven't they? The 2 men who've come on, and Gakpo, what a finish that was on his left foot. Gakpo, who incidentally has now scored in all 4 League Cup ties Liverpool have played this season. And now Liverpool coming forward again. And here he is, Gakpo on the right-hand side, right-footed ball high in, Núñez with a header, and it's saved by Leno. Didn't quite get the power on that, leaping to his left. Leno is able to push it away round for a corner.
Yeah, again the substitutes just combining Gakpo and Núñez. It's a really difficult header for Núñez. He's got to be, 18 yards out, edge of the box, heading it, twisting and turning, trying to put power and direction on it. I think it's a good header.
Corner to Liverpool. It's quite interesting this, we're seeing, as we did on Sunday in the FA Cup at Arsenal, and here in this match from 1-0 down, what Liverpool have got without Salah. McAllister with the corner from the right into the edge of the 6-yard box. Palhinha got his head to that, comes out to Jones, who opened the scoring. passes it high. McAllister does well, gets up high to head it into the box. Luis Diaz across, but hit the defender. It was Palhinha who's in there again, and Palhinha cleared away to the halfway line where Gomez just lifts it into the stand. He actually ran into Jurgen Klopp. We didn't want another one of those, a la Tsimikas and Jurgen
Yes.
Klopp, but Gomez, I think, is made of a little sterner stuff than,
yes, maybe.
And they both managed to avoid it.
Absolutely, just coming across to clear the danger there, ran into his manager, got a quick instant hug, and then back on the pitch again.
Yeah, 2-1, Liverpool lead, 10 minutes to go. So, I mean, how do Fulham play this? They desperately would love to be at least level to go to the second leg. Robinson on the left-hand side. Robinson rides the challenge. In fact, he was blocked there by Gakpo, so that will be a free kick 15 yards inside the Liverpool half. Do you gamble as Fulham and try to get the goal? Because clearly Liverpool will be strong favourites if they have this lead or any bigger lead to take to Craven Cottage.
Yeah, I don't think Fulham are that kind of side where they just sit back and try and absorb and take what they've got. I think they'll go forward. With Jimenez in good form as well, they'll try and get as many chances for him as possible, and they'll put this in the box, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, this free kick. They're going to bring on the midfielder, the Serbian midfielder Sasa Lukic. So another midfielder coming on. Free kick, which is taken in by Kearney to the edge of the box, but headed away by Van Dijk. Headed by Robinson, back to Kearney, who chests it down. And then Kearney then lifts a ball forward, which is played right across the box. Jimenez is there, but the offside flag was up against Issa Diop. It was, who'd been up for the set piece, and he had strayed into an offside position. Free kick, Liverpool. They continue to lead 2-1.
Yeah, they do, but they've got some intelligent players for them, so don't take this 2-1 lead for granted at the moment.
No, as Robinson is fouled by Gakpo. Free kick. I think the referee actually just allowed play to continue because Fulham were in possession. He didn't want another incident where he didn't play an advantage, as happened just before half-time, and Liverpool were apoplectic. Great celebrations from the Liverpool bench when they got the second goal. Big moments. And Harrison Reed is coming off. He did have that knock before half-time. So Sasa Lukic coming on to replace him.
Yeah, done okay tonight, Reed. Well, he did get a bang, and he was limping slightly as well before he came off. I think one of the differences in the second half, I think McAllister hasn't found himself as far forward, and Jones as well. They've played a little bit deeper and allowed the forward-thinking players to go and do what they've got to do.
Gakpo beats Robinson, 25 yards out. Nope, just plays it through to Nunez, and Nunez goes for goal. One-handed save. That was a decent save by Leno. That was travelling. He threw his right arm up and blocked it, and I think that was heading into the far top corner. So, good save.
Yeah, they seem to have a really good understanding, Gakpo and Nunez, the two of them who have just come on, or should I say came on 5 minutes into the second half. Good understanding. Weight of passes good to each other.
Yeah, they do today, certainly. Here's Jota. He's carrying it forward towards the edge of the box. Jones bounces off him. Jota then plays it wide, so Bradley's after that. Liverpool man has stayed down on the edge of the box. I think it is Jones. Gakpo has it on the right. You can see he's got a teammate down, so he's going to backheel it out of play, which he does, just as Jones actually gets to his feet. So it'll be a Fulham throw, level with the edge of their own penalty area, with 6 minutes of the 90 to play. And I think Jones is okay. Yeah, I think he just perhaps maybe got caught amidships.
Yeah, he's just I think he's just made a fist with his right hand and punched his left hand, probably saying he's got a knock, a bit of a knee into the thigh, which are pretty sore, really sore.
2-1 Liverpool lead, and Luis Diaz turning with it on the far side and playing it down the line, and the ball comes into the penalty area, cleared away by Palhinha. Liverpool taking up possession again. Bradley, just his second start for Liverpool. Conor Bradley. Gakpo carrying it infield, and then McAllister back to the Northern Irishman. Bradley playing it down to the byline. Nunez lifts it right across the box, and it's headed behind on the far side by Harry Wilson for another Liverpool corner.
Yeah, he's done that well, Nunez, since he's come on. He's just pointing in behind the fullback, and Liverpool are just rolling it into those corners there, and he's just finding a pass. He's picking it to the far post, he's drilling it across. looking very sharp. Fulham at the moment look like they're hanging on. They really do.
Jones just struggling a little after taking that knock. No immediate sign of a replacement coming on for Liverpool. It's corner then for the home side in front of the Kop. And McAllister swings it into the near post where Robinson heads it up and away, didn't clear the penalty area. And it finds its way back to the left-hand side to McAllister. Now McAllister to Darwin Núñez and Jones. Jones infield towards Luis Diaz, who curls it out onto the chest of Gakpo, who's put under pressure by Jimenez, who's using his arms, but Gakpo stays on his feet, still has the ball, beats Jimenez, plays it infield, and then Liverpool go back towards the halfway line. I mean, Darwin Núñez and Gakpo have been electric since they've come onto the field. I mean,
made the difference, haven't they?
Absolutely made the
really
difference.
Made the difference.
I mean, Liverpool had improved before they came on, but they stepped up this Liverpool performance significantly with the little bit of a break coming for Liverpool, as is the case with so many of the teams over the next couple of weekends or so. So there are no 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League this coming Saturday, but on 5 Live we'll have the usual goal service on Saturday afternoon. And last Saturday, I hope you're listening to our FA Cup coverage on the 3rd round afternoon. If you didn't and want to know what it looked like for our team of broadcasters here on 5 Live, you can actually see it on social media at 5 Live Sport, which will give you an insight into how it all worked on one of the busiest weekends of the season. Here is Gomez for Liverpool in the centre circle. Back to Konate. And just a little lull comes over. It's been a much better match in the second half.
Yeah, it has. And this might be Fulham saying, right, we'll take this and we'll take it back to ours. They're just dropping into a 4-5-1 at the moment.
Yeah, this is the worst we want it to be.
Yeah, maybe they're just saying to themselves, we'll take this and we'll take our chances at home.
Yeah, and if in the remainder, the 3 minutes plus added time, we're able to have a chance on the breakaway on the counter, then we'll see what happens. But it's going to be a big challenge for them, and there's a foul centre field from Lukic, and a yellow card comes out for the Serbian midfielder who's been on the field for only a matter of a couple of minutes or so for that challenge on Núñez.
Yeah, he might have caught Núñez. Yeah, it was just a stud on the top of the foot. We see a lot of those now in the game where the bottom of somebody's boot catches the top of somebody else's, and I can pretty much guarantee you that would have hurt.
So 5 Live Sport on air till 10:30. Robinson is dispossessed, and then Jota loses out to Palhinha, but Luis Diaz takes it up, might bounce back to him. No, in fact it bounces to Jota just outside the area. Bradley's there, Bradley's ball across, good save Leno from Núñez. He just threw himself into the path of the anticipated shot from Núñez, and that was enough for the Fulham goalkeeper to save it. And in the context of the tie, that could be absolutely crucial.
Could be massive, absolutely massive. He's just thrown himself at Núñez, who's 6 yards out on the volley. Brilliant save, really good save.
So that keeps it at Liverpool 2, Fulham 1. But they've had some chances in the second half. They created so little in the first half, Liverpool, but as is so often the case here at Anfield, they had to think about things at half-time, attack towards the Kop, and they've looked like a different team. Here's Kearney, and then Jimenez loses out to Jones. Jones in on the challenge with Jimenez. He could overread infield, and that's taken down for Fulham by Lukic. Now Kearney turns, finds a little bit of space, midfield, Marco Silva, all in black, looks frustrated that Fulham didn't get it forward more quickly. They might do that now. Kearney has to angle it back. Liverpool are back in position. So Palhinha all the way to Adarabioyo, and then Liverpool win it back from Wilson, and Joe Gomez keeps his feet, gives it to Núñez. Núñez against Adarabioyo into the area, plays it across, cleared away by Diop, comes out to Gomez. Diop into the challenge on Gomez. He had to get that right, but he did. Liverpool still with it. Núñez again, but Tosin Adarabioyo is able to get a touch on the ball to take it out towards the far side. Well defended by the two Fulham central defenders.
Yeah, brilliant. Very good. Not going to ground, keeping an eye on the ball, not getting sucked in by all the footwork. and making sure that they just quash the attacks. It seems to be attack after attack at the moment. I'm watching young Bradley just down below us in front of the dugouts. His legs have gone. He's got a bit of cramp. He's thinking, please don't come down my side. He's absolutely shattered, the kid, but he's been brilliant tonight. He really has.
He has. That was one of the big calls for Jurgen Klopp before the game, but he's certainly acquitted himself extremely well. Conor Bradley, 4 minutes of added time. So Liverpool with the 2-1 lead could have been a lot worse, but there again, the chances they've had as the second half has worn on, perhaps Liverpool will think that their lead should have been significantly greater, and now they've won a free kick. And Harry Wilson, another of the substitutes, the Fulham substitutes, gets himself a yellow card for his challenge on Curtis Jones, who seems to have recovered from that knock that he had, but wins the free kick, which Liverpool takes short.
Yeah, he's important to Liverpool to keep him on the pitch if they can.
McAllister over to the left-hand side, and it comes back in field towards the Argentine. McAllister square to Bradley, then back to Gomez nearer the centre circle. Joe Gomez tonight making his 200th Liverpool appearance, and in very good form, doing very well at left back. I have a feeling he's going to score a goal soon, Gomez.
Do you?
Yeah, he keeps getting himself into positions. Never scored for Liverpool in 200 appearances, but I think there's one coming. Mark my words, Dion.
Really?
When it happens,
I
you can
have
think
marked
on.
them. I've marked your words.
Here is Gakpo down the right-hand side. Gakpo, low ball into the penalty area, but that's cleared away by Diop. Liverpool in added time, pushing for a third goal that would make them hot favourites at Craven Cottage in a fortnight's time. Jota. That would actually make it a very good night from the position that they were in. Square, Canate to the edge of the box, but Robinson steps forward, plays it forward towards Jimenez, who's really not had a chance tonight. Jimenez, the centre forward, and he's fouled here, wins a free kick on the halfway line, wants to take this, which he does actually, back into his own half. So it is Issa Diop with the ball at the back. Kearney now to Robinson, and Robinson goes for a ball down the line, but Jimenez just looks at that as it floats away over his head and said, that will not be a ball that I will be chasing.
Yeah, he had no chance with that one.
The goalkeeper.
Robinson just trying to find his centre forward, overhit it, straight into Keller's hands. Canate not even running after it.
So 2-1 Liverpool lead. Middlesbrough winning 1-0 in the other semi-final to go to Stamford Bridge. Everyone expected it would be a Liverpool-Chelsea final again, as it was the season before last, which went to that epic penalty shootout. But both semi-finals still quite close, as Fulham come forward in added time. Here's Jimenez. Robinson. Fulham thinking they might be able to get another goal, and then Robinson goes over the challenge of Bradley and threw himself as the challenge came in and won the free kick that was given.
Yeah, Bradley just finding it hard to move his feet if he's got cramp and all sorts, and just puts out a leg there. Robinson happily dives over it, and here we are. This could be the last chance for Fulham. Everybody is in Liverpool's box, apart from Robinson, I think.
Yeah, as the ball came to Bradley, just sort of went in, leg outstretched. Robinson saw it and thought, that is an invitation to win a free kick, and he won it. And so now this is a chance for Fulham. Their supporters looking on from the stand behind the goal. Wilson plays in, took a deflection off the one-man wall. Jota, that could have gone anywhere. He was fortunate, it fell to a teammate who was able to clear it, and then Wilson concedes a throw-in near the halfway line. Well, I make it the 4 minutes on out up, the 4 minutes of added time. So it looks like Liverpool have done enough. They have. There is the final whistle on the first leg of this semi-final. Jurgen Klopp and Marco Silva come across to one another. They will do battle again in a fortnight's time. For such a long time tonight, Marco Silva's side led in the match here at Anfield with that fine goal from Willian in the first half, but Jurgen Klopp, his team upped it in the second half. He made his substitutions. Nunez and Gakpo came on. They revitalised Liverpool. They equalised with a deflected shot from Jones, And then the goal from Gakpo set up by Nunez means Liverpool will have a 2-1 lead to take to Craven Cottage.
Yes, listen, I think Liverpool they kind of went through the gears. Gakpo, Nunez come on, changed the game completely, allowed Jota to go and do what he does a little bit deeper. And you've got Nunez and Gakpo doing what they do up top, combining really well. Fulham played their part in this game, let me tell you, for 40 minutes. They were in it. They had their chances in the first half as well to probably make it 2-0. They didn't. Liverpool bided their time, got the fans involved in the game and took over.
Yep, Fulham's first semi-final in this competition, their first domestic cup semi-final for 22 years. They're behind, they're trailing, but they're not out of it. Liverpool, though, 2-1 winners against Fulham in the first leg.
Marco Silva and Willian deep in discussion on the pitch at Anfield as they try and work out exactly what's gone wrong. Certainly nothing really went wrong from Willian's point of view, putting Fulham in front in this game. But Liverpool coming back, as John's been telling us, John Murray and Dion Dublin at Anfield for us. John was saying Liverpool coming back to win that one by 2-1. But Dion, it doesn't feel like a statement win. It doesn't feel like a moment for huge amounts of celebration. This game is very much in the balance still.
It is in the balance in Liverpool's favour, because I think Liverpool now know how good Fulham can be in fits and starts and what they can create on the break as well. Fulham won't play the same way at Craven Cottage. They will be a little bit more positive. They'll probably have to defend a bit more, Liverpool, so it'll be a completely different game for Liverpool. In the balance, yes, but I would still have to fancy Liverpool. When they play like they did in that little 20-minute period, they blew Fulham away with pace, power, and everything they did worked. Gakpo and Nunez were the difference.
Do you know what? We'll come back to that point about substitutions, because it's an interesting one and a sort of hallmark of Liverpool's season. But the reason I was saying in the balance, and I completely take your point about that 20-minute spell from Liverpool and how impressive they looked. But I wonder if in this 90 minutes we saw both how Liverpool were capable of winning this one, but also in moments how Fulham would be able to maybe get the result at Craven Cottage that could take them to the EFL Cup final. Yeah,
I think that statement you had just made there, how Liverpool could win it and how Liverpool could lose it, because defensively early on they were poor. They really were. They just weren't on it. The concentration levels weren't great. Van Dijk looked nervous on the ball because he was under pressure from Jimenez all the time. They're going to have to be on it from moment go when they go to Fulham, because Fulham won't allow them to switch off at all. They'll find a weakness, they'll go for it. I just believe that now Liverpool have seen Fulham up close in this situation, they'll go for the throat and they'll win it comfortably down there.
And also, of course, when you talk about Liverpool defensively in this situation, we should point out the injury to Trent Alexander-Arnold, Andy Robertson injured on the other side, so you've got Joe Gomez in there, and then you've got young Conor Bradley. That was a very youthful right-hand side for Liverpool, where usually you have, although Trent Alexander-Arnold isn't exactly a veteran, but he is in terms of experience, and then Mo Salah in front of him. It's a big gap to fill when you've got two players down one side of the pitch.
Yeah, it was, and I was watching Bradley as well. Poor boy, he had cramp, and Fulham kept coming down the left-hand side, which is Bradley's right, and he kept having to make challenges, and every time he made a challenge he had to pull his toe up like he had a bad bit of calf cramp there. But he did really well, the young lad, and he coped with a very good player in Willian, a wily player like Willian. He did really well. He's seen Willian off, well, that's what we'll be telling his mates anyway, and he dealt with it so well. So the manager's going to be very happy with the way he played. And Jones as well, who took a really bad knock, he stayed on and played through that. So yes, it's going to be difficult, but if Liverpool can play like they did in that 20 minutes, it shouldn't be a problem for them to get to the final.
And Dion, as I said, we'll talk more after 10 o'clock about the substitutions and how significant they've been for Liverpool across the whole of this season. But on social media and on messages, Dom says Nunez finishing might not be quite up to scratch, but you can't deny he make things happen. That's 10 assists for him this season. Suri makes the same point. Darwin's evolution might be assist and playmaker instead of goal scorer. And then Sammy making a point. Maybe it's time to play Conor Bradley at right back and Trent Alexander-Arnold at midfield when he comes back in. But those substitutions, and as I said, we'll talk more about this after 10, have been crucial for Liverpool across the season, but really important tonight as well.
Yeah, listen, it's just about the manager. This is why he gets paid the big bucks. That's why he's managing one of the biggest clubs in the world. He's making decisions to change a game, and he seems to be making the right ones at the moment, Mr. Klopp.
So Dion Dublin and John Murray are with us from Anfield. We'll also be joined by Mark Schwarzer.